to everybody because I am sucking on a cough drop. I still have this lingering cough even a week later. I am feeling great. Everything is moving on. I just have this little bit of cough congestion still hanging in there. So I will try not to cough in anybody's ears. So thank you all for joining us today. I'm going to share my screen and just go over a couple of things that I wanted to bring up with everybody. First thing, let me get over to the internet. So you guys should be able to see my screen here showing the CLIA Call to Action Center. CLIA put this together in order for it very much follows the same platform that ASTA has used for their grassroots efforts. We want to support CLIA and the cruise line industry in getting our voices heard, that we want the CDC to modify, or the CSO, the Conditional Sailing Order. And so they've put this on their Action Center. Makes it very easy. All you need to do is go in and put your contact information. The body of the email is there, but if you do want to add your own personal message, you can do that. This is automatically going to go out to your state representatives based on your zip code that you enter in. So again, CLIA has made it very easy for us to get this information out to Congress and to the policymakers. So if you have not already, please go in and do this. If you have, I believe that you can submit this once a day. So take the time to go in and do that as well, so that we can help support the cruise industry and get that CSO modified so that it is a bit more user friendly and a lot more enforceable and workable for the cruise lines and the ports. I'm seeing a lot of reports from the different cruise lines that it's difficult for them to be able to, hang on a second. It's difficult for them to be able to get to where they can support some of the things that the CDC has put in place, especially when you're talking about being able to evacuate the entire cruise line or the affected parties. So many of the cruise ports don't have active hospitals or large hospitals, so they don't have the capacity to take a large group of people. Many of these ports don't have airports, they don't have commercial flights. So the effects on those ports in being able to have cruise ships come back to them is very problematic. So make our voices known, go to the CLIA Action Center, submit your information. That will very easily go out to the appropriate people just based on your zip code. Aside from that, I did want to let you guys know that Four Seasons, I just got an email today, and many of you probably got the same email about their booking incentive for Hawaii. So they do have an incentive right now through June 15th. For bookings through June 15th, clients staying April 1st to August 31st, 2 different properties in Hawaii, so different islands, and 3 nights stay at each property. So 3 nights at one hotel, go to different island, 3 nights at another hotel, and then you will be able to earn some benefits yourself in being able to stay. So one of the things I want to show you is you need to make sure you're inputting your advisor ID. If you do not know what your Four Seasons advisor ID is, it is in your profile within the Four Seasons Preferred Partner site. So I can go ahead and share my screen here again and come to the Four Seasons site. And it is up here. Once you log in, your advisor ID will be listed up in the top center of the site. That is the number, the FS, with the 6 digits after that. That's your advisor ID you want to use in that booking. If you are booking directly over the phone, you'll want to give them that information to the res agent to include in the booking. If you are doing it excuse me, through the GDS, you'll want to put that in the SI field. And then that information will go through. Four Seasons will be able to track you and track your agent productivity for any of their incentives. So great to be able to track that and get those benefits. I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. So if you are having troubles with Four Seasons, or you do not know what your preferred partner login is, or need access, or that website, need your password reset in order to get onto the website, let me know. I cannot reset it, but I can send the email off to Vicki at Four Seasons to get that reset for you if you need that assistance. CDC has been making some updates. They've come out with their new vaccination and quarantine rules. Keep an eye on that, because that's probably going to be one of those things that's going to change frequently. It is a bit misleading the way it's gone out. Make sure that your clients are aware that they need to have the negative test to get back into the US. That hasn't changed, but they don't need to do the negative tests in order to travel within the United States. So make sure you are staying aware of that. March ended very nicely for all of us. We did close the month at just over 2.5 million in invoiced sales. So that is great. We are inching back up there like we've been reporting, each month. As we start looking at what we're comparing now, we'll start comparing it to 2019 instead of 2020. And so we can see kind of where we are compared to the overall of back to our production standards. I can say that on a normal, 2019, we were anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5 million in invoiced sales month to month. That 6 million would be about the average. So in March, ending at 2.5, we're in that 30% range, which is where we've been expected based on the industry to be returning. So it's looking very good so far. April, with just 2 days under our belt, is invoicing very nicely. I like to see that the number of invoices being produced every day are increasing. That tells me you guys are seeing an increase in business requests. Many of you are having a return faster than others. I think it just depends on the mix of your business and where your clients are going. So we are seeing quite a good increase there. And we've had some reports on some very good bookings that have been coming through, over $100,000 on bookings. And so it's very exciting. And so the more you guys can share those, we'd love to share and celebrate those wins with you as well. Meredith, I do not see anything on the calendar for this week as far as any webinars. Do you have anything that you're working on that will be vendor webinars for this week?
Not for this week. I'm working on one for next week and one for the week after, and we'll be sending out that information, but nothing for this week.
Okay, thank you. We are still working through a couple of things with the Hilton Impresario. We are live with that program. However, we're seeing some conflicting information with the rate codes coming through the GDS. We're seeing it come through with some Hilton properties, but not with Conrad properties, and some Waldorf Astorias, and not, it's different in WorldSpan, it's different in Apollo. So we're getting some, working with them on getting that so it's consistent with everybody. You do have access to the website at this point, that if you need to book or wanting to book something to guarantee that you have those amenities passed through, you can go through the Hilton Impresario website. We have loaded those instructions in our Teams channel on Microsoft Teams. So under the AndavoConnect, within the Teams, you'll be able to see the file for the hotel programs under the General tab. And I'm going to see if I can't, let's see, we'll just share my screen again, see if I can get to that screen. Let me get up Teams. Oh, let's see if I can get to the right place in Teams. So you guys should be seeing my screen now. We've got the Andavo Advisor Connect is the team channel that we all will share. There's different tabs here. You start using this for looking for recommendation. Joanne and Ellie have both put requests in. The general tab is where we have more information as far as the resource guide and files. So if you go to click on that little plus line, it'll expand these. The files is where we have the hotel program details. We're still building this out, but Hilton Impresario is there. Our Four Seasons preferred partner, Hyatt Privé and Rosewood Elite. So as we get more of the content built out, you'll be able to see that. You just click on the folder and then you can open up those files. In addition, we've been building out our resource guide. And so here we've got different content, and you can look at our marketing tab that'll have information on social media. You're looking for information on our branding, and then our welcome to Andavo, which will give you information. And so if you're looking at office locations, this is going to get you right to where our address is, our IATA number, phone numbers, and then contact information for our support team. We will be continuing to build this out. So as you are exploring this and looking for information, if there's something that you are not finding yet, or if you've got a question on where to find something, then we will be starting to build that out in this section. So this will become, in essence, our intranet, where we'll have that one place for all information, communications with each other, as well as resources. Let me get back to where I am not sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. So if you have any questions or comments on the Teams channel, let me know, or let Meredith know, or Allie. Any one of us will try to help answer those questions or get you access to where you can see the information. So I do not have any other updates at this point. So if you guys have anything that you want to discuss, I'm going to open up the floor to you all. If you've got any questions or just want to talk about anything that's been exciting and new bookings that have been coming in. Question is the program for Mandarin Oriental. We have looked at their fan club in the past, and it has not been the right time for us to look at it. But it is one that I continue to look at and have actually an email out to Tom Julio right now to see if that is something that would be good for us to get rolled out. So more news to come on that one as well. When we're talking about our hotel programs and Virtuoso versus the hotel programs directly, there is a line in where Virtuoso benefits then bleed into other benefits and which programs we should be a part of and which ones we should not be a part of. We do try to, we always want to support our Virtuoso program first. It is the one that we actually do pay to belong. And I did see that other question, do we have to pay for these? Virtuoso is a membership program, so we absolutely pay to belong to Virtuoso. The other programs we do not pay to belong to, but we do have to produce. And there's a difference in production between our Virtuoso production and the direct hotel production. And so it is finding that good balance, because our virtuoso engagement is based on the amount of preferred partner engagement we have. We are obligated to report to Virtuoso our total sales. And when I talk about our total sales, I'm only talking the Andavo leisure division. This does not include Christofferson corporate. So Virtuoso is gauged purely on Andavo vacation production. We need to send them our numbers of what we have booked. They will look at where we are percentage wise of our Virtuoso production versus all other production. And so even though we, like, say, Four Seasons preferred partner, if there is a Four Seasons and it is both a Virtuoso Four Seasons and a preferred partner Four Seasons, we want to sell it as Virtuoso, because that will count towards our preferred program with Virtuoso. If it is Virtuoso property and we sell the preferred partner rate versus the API Virtuoso rate, that is counting towards our Four Seasons production, but counting against our Virtuoso production. And so we do want to make sure that if both things are equal, the rates are the same, the amenities are fairly similar, we want to promote the Virtuoso package versus the direct hotel program. Where the hotel programs really come into play is when it's a chain and that property is not a part of Virtuoso. Then you've got this preferred amenity program that you can sell to still extend amenities onto your client, but it's not counting against our Virtuoso program. So there are times that when we're looking at some of the hotel programs, that the majority of what we're selling for that chain is already through the Virtuoso program. There's not a great benefit for us to have it outside of Virtuoso as well. If it's a chain that a portion of their properties are Virtuoso and a portion of their properties are not Virtuoso, then there is a great benefit for us because we can extend those on the non-Virtuoso properties. So we do look at that to see where we are aligned and if it makes sense for us to extend another program or not. Actually, Meredith and I just had a meeting this morning with Intercontinental Hotel Group to roll out their program for Intercontinental Hotels, Kimpton, and Regent. And so that will be a program that, because not all of their, in fact, not many of their hotels are within the Virtuoso program. So it does give you amenities through their chain and those brands that you can extend amenities onto your clients. So hopefully that helps answer some questions about the different hotel programs and when to sell which type of rate code. As we can, we will get all of these loaded into the GDS and we'll get you those rate codes so that you have them in order to sell them. But they all do have the ability to request those rate codes either directly with the hotel or through some kind of a portal. Now with Intercontinental Hotel Group, they do not have a booking portal yet. They are working on getting that rolled out. So we'll get the rate codes loaded into the GDS. We'll get those out to everybody. But if you are not a GDS user, you would need to contact the hotel directly in order to book that until they have the advisor portal released. And they'll be launching that in the next several months. Any other questions? Or clarification on anything? Quiet. Meredith or Allie, did either of you have any additional updates?
Or just a reminder, and Virtuoso is Best of the Best, the second coding client for email marketing to receive the free version of Best of the Best is April 15th. So just a reminder to get that in. And also just love to have some feedback on what you guys think about the digital version of Best of the Best. I am on the marketing committee and I know they do welcome feedback. So love to hear what your thoughts are on it if any of you have an opinion.
And Danielle Rocket answered or asked a question, who are people using to book rental cars in Hawaii? Been hearing folks are showing up for rental cars and they don't have any cars available. I know we had talked before about rental cars and the situation with rental cars right now that one, rates are up, and two, the availability is down because so many people are traveling more domestically. The rental cars seem to be going quite quickly. I've got a fly in front of my face. That's the first fly of the season. Avis and, sorry, batting away a fly. So I don't know. David said Avis is who he typically uses in Hawaii for Jeeps. Does anybody else have any car rental companies that they have had success with in Hawaii? And then Danielle is asking, is it better to confirm a car service to and from the airport and then pick up a car rental from the hotel?
Hi, I figure I talk.
Yeah, jump on in.
Cars there, so yeah, I mean, what I've found is generally Avis is the only, I don't know how to mute my messages but not mute this. Avis was the only one I found that consistently had the cars available, especially if you do a pay now instead of a pay later. A lot of rental car companies don't offer that, so if you do the upfront payment, it's a lot more guaranteed that they'll have the car, and I've never had a problem with them. Hertz has been shaky recently, and I used to do a ton of Hertz. You know, I probably do 10 or 15 rental cars a month at least. Hertz has been shaky not only on pickups of cars, but also on commissions. I've been pretty much duking it out with them over every single $10 commission there could be. So, yeah, I mean, I think Avis is probably the only reputable one left. I've heard okay things about Enterprise too, but I don't do a lot of business with them, so can't comment fully.
And David, are you booking cars that people are picking up at the airport directly?
Yeah. I rarely, I did one offsite. So one of the things that I found was down here in Florida, rental cars have been extremely, extremely hard to get, especially on the weekends. I mean, you're talking sold out for hundreds of miles. So if you, at least at the airport locations, so if you book like offsite 15 miles away, then yeah, I mean, what Danielle was saying is correct. You have them kind of most people prefer to take an Uber in Florida just because it's so readily available. But, you know, in more exotic destinations, a car service could take them to the rental car. But at that point, a lot of people just choose to go directly to the hotel and skip the rental car because, you know, I mean, a carry or something is going to be $150, $200. That's another thing that has been a bit of a sticking point. Carry has been paying commissions on 6 to 9 month windows, which is just rather insane. I emailed their rep about this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you won't, you'll get paid for this in October." It's like, well, it's March. Why?
Yeah.
But you know, yeah. So that whole transportation industry, I think, is a bit of a mess right now. But Avis has consistently paid quickly and usually has nicer, newer cars. I get less complaints about it, but.
Okay. And I have heard that Tim is now back at Cary and things are starting to settle down with Cary, and their accounting is starting to get caught up on the commission payout. So we should be seeing an improvement with the return on commissions, the speed in which they return the commissions. So hopefully it is not October before we receive those, that they are getting caught up and getting those paid out more quickly. But I know Cary was one that was a couple of things, very hit with staffing, but then was also holding on to some commissions and not making those payments out immediately. So that will be improving. Thank you for those questions and answers. Anybody else have anything?
I wanted to know if anybody, I haven't seen anything today about it, but since the new CDC ruling came out on Friday, has anybody seen how that is affecting or will affect Hawaii, since Hawaii was requiring testing between islands? Has anybody seen anything about that today?
I have not seen anything specific to Hawaii.
Yeah, I think since they announced it, we will be seeing things, but so far I haven't really, and there are still states within the continental U.S. that require testing before entry. So I haven't really heard, has that all gone away? And I guess maybe the individual states are taking time to process this, but just curious if anybody had seen anything.
Hey Meredith, this is Danielle.
Yeah.
I was reading on that and I did a little deeper dive and I thought I read somewhere that it said that the arrival destination can still, you still have to adhere to whatever that arrival destination wants. So I'm betting Hawaii's not going to lift it too soon.
That would be my guess as well. And I had seen that it wasn't just a blanket thing that everybody went, oh, okay, everybody can come in now. And since Hawaii's been so restrictive, I figured they would probably keep that in place, but just maybe wishful thinking.
Now, I had heard, this was a couple weeks ago, things could change, that the Kauai bubble was supposed to go away beginning this week, but I don't know if that has happened. It was supposed to be April 5th that they were going to remove that 3-day bubble from Kauai, but I didn't go look today to see if it did lift or not.
We did get a comment. Yes, that is correct about Kauai.
Yeah, I have clients next week who are going from Honolulu to Maui, and they have to get a negative test. So I was hoping they would be spared that.
Okay. Any other questions or feedback anybody wants to share with anyone?
Well, since no one's talking, I like to hear good news, so I'm going to share my good news, I guess, that you already know about. It's like the second or third time. I'm like, okay, fine. I made a $600,000 corporate sale at 15% last week. So there's that.
Which is absolutely awesome. We're very excited for you, David.
Yeah, many years. And they're coming with more, so hopefully we have more traffic from that. It doesn't start till 2022, so fingers crossed on COVID madness being over by then, but
Yes.
we'll see. And I'm sure other people have good news. So, I started it. Now you guys have to finish it.
Yeah, this was very exciting for David. It is a multi-year contract with one of his accounts, and to the tune of, like you said, $600,000. So it's a very, very exciting time. And I know I have seen some invoices from several of you with very large hotel bookings, and invoices that are over 100,000, but even invoices that are multi-room that are $5,000 and $6,000 that add up to the 20 and 30 and $40,000. And Rusty had a very nice booking, and I've seen many of you with very good invoices coming through. Teresa Tayo had one on Friday that was a very nice invoice. So it's good to see a return of some travel. And I know even without seeing the invoices, many of you are working on things that are still in the works. They just are not at the point that you are doing the invoicing yet. No, it's all very good and exciting news. Danielle, when do you leave to go to Hawaii? I put you on the spot and you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was muted. I'm leaving on Saturday, the 17th of April. We were joking around yesterday that maybe it'll be the 18th of April that Hawaii lifts their restrictions. Because I have to test before I go, and then when in Kauai, or no, in Kona, you have to take a test when you land. So, but anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Just I have to work the whole time, but it'd be just a different view out the window.
Right.
But I'll say I did a little booking on Thursday with 8 nights at the Fairmont Kealani in Maui. So that's
Very
nice. They're starting to come in. But yeah.
Very good. Well, I won't keep you guys any longer if nobody else has anything to that they want to talk about. So thank you all for joining in. And again, remember to go to our team's channel and check that out for new content or to post any updates or looking for recommendations from each other. We will, this will be a process, but we will be transitioning over to Teams versus our Facebook group. So the more you guys can get in there and start responding, and thank you to Ellie and Shirley for putting some questions in there, and hopefully we'll get some more people in and looking at that so that you can get some responses to those requests as well. Thank you all. It was great to talk to you, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye, everybody.